So in a board meeting, what is the balance between the two? What is performance conversation and what is long-term strategy and business?
The strategy that, and we've been very public about this, the strategy that we're pursuing is a very clear one. And that strategy is to succeed on the pitch with both men's and women's teams, but to build a long-term sustainable business. And so it's an incredibly competitive league, which is great. That's what we all love. We're not frightened of the competition. But we're also up against some very different competitors, some of which have a lot more capital than we do, and we have to find a way to compete against them. So the strategy, or the mission, if you will, is very, very clear. We want success on the pitch, but you have to balance the preservation of what is not just a company, but is a franchise and an institution that matters immensely, not just to the fans, but within the community. So what we really focus on is not sort of the mission, but it's more about, well, how do we execute the business plan in the optimal way to deliver that success? And that's through the investments that we make. So we may make a very deep investment in the technology side of the business, because we think that will deliver a great fan experience. And the better the fan experience, the better the engagement with the fans, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that ultimately creates value across all areas. Same if we are, you probably saw that, long-term project of Daniel's was the Formula One karting. That didn't just happen overnight. That was I think it may have taken 10 years from initial idea to actually, bring it to fruition.
Do you want to explain that quickly?
We opened a go-karting experience underneath the stadium in February. If you haven't done it, you absolutely should. Both my kids had their birthday parties there, but a lot of corporates are now enjoying their sort of retreats. And it's a fantastic experience. They're all electric karts. It was done in combination with Formula One. Who I think when they first heard about the idea were a bit, why would we do a partnership with a football team? But then when you spend time on it, it creates a huge amount of value. Now, why does that make sense? It's a small events business in some ways. It makes sense because what we're trying to do is bring more people to the stadium and use the stadium more. And then to the extent that business is profitable, we invested in it over a long period of time. We can take the profits from that and we can put it back into football. That's the plan, but it's a lot of long-range planning.